the night. I welcome all of you to all of my card games, the show where we take a look at spooky decks filled with spooks and tricks, and we have ourselves a most delightful time. I am your host for this evening's activities, Spooky Memphis XLR8. Today, we take a look at, of course, the Ghostrick archetype. The archetype that gains infinite power on Halloween night. And the rest of the year they do nothing, but that's what they do the best. Halloween. And tonight we have a most excellent showing of Ghostricks doing as they want to do. Setting themselves on the field. It's what they do best. So tonight we shall be going over this deck list and then get right into showing the power of Ghostricks. For our main deck this evening, we have 3 copies of Parallel Exceed, 1 Ghostrick Warwolf, 3 copies each of Ghostricks Jiangshi, Fairy, Dolly, and Spectre, along with 2 copies each of Ghostricks Lantern, Mary, and Battle Fader. For our spells, we have 3 Allures of Darkness, 3 Lightning Storm, and 3 Ghostrick Shot. Trap cards include 2 copies of Ghost Trick or Treat, 3 Ceasefire, 3 Magical Cylinders, 2 Blazing Mere Force, and 3 Ghostrick Scare. For our extra deck, we have 3 Ghostricks Festival. We have 1 IP Masquerena along with Proxy Dragon for making Ball Sword Dragon. We have 1 Ghostrick Doulahan, 1 Ghostrick So Cute Boss, 1 Ghostrick Alucard, 2 copies of Ghostrick Angel of Mischief. We have Bagushka, we have Utopia the Lightning, and we have Negalogia AA Zeus. As for the side deck this evening, Kaijus are good for monsters that you need Kaijus to get rid of. We have other Ghostricks, such as Mummy for swarming, Nakamusume for locking monsters face down, Magic Planter if you want to be running more stall with Summon Limit, Ghostrick Knight to keep monsters face down forever, as well as different Mirror Forces like Storming Mirror Force and Quaking Mirror Force. Yeah, that's the side deck. So now, my children of the night, let us venture forth and show Ghostricks in all their spooky glory as we set the night on fire. Alright, our first opponent, our first victim of the evening. Our opponent will not allow us to go first, unfortunately, because our deck likes to go first. Not because Ghostricks are slow, but because going first is for winners. That's how that works. However, we have ourselves an opening hand where I can at least go second. We have many things in our deck, and our opponent has got less things. Although his deck may be bigger, that doesn't matter as much. So my opponent will be playing Monster Gate to get more monsters. He also has traps, apparently. Eradicator Epidermic Virus can destroy spell traps, which is not good. We shall see. My opponent has many a zombie. The question is, what else does he have? I don't know. All I know is that I'm playing Ghostricks this evening. That's all I really know at all. So he has Goblin Zombie. This can add him another zombie. It clearly says so right there. 1 zombie with small defense points. Let's see. Shiranui Solitaire. That is, in fact, a monster. This I can say for certain. Alright, so now it is our turn. Our opening hand is tolerable. I would have liked Parallel Exceed, but one does with what one has. We shall now proceed to activate Lightning Storm. We should destroy my opponent's spell trap lineup. I feel like that was a good idea. We shall set 2 of the cards in our hand and set Ghostrick Dolly Wally When Ghostrick Dollywally's flipped up, it will, during the end phase, flip everyone face down. And when it does that, I can summon a Ghostrick whose level is less than or equal to the number of monsters flipped face down by this effect. Alright. So he will go for Shiranui Solitaire. He can contribute that to summon out a monster from his deck, which is most likely Unizombie. That I should interrupt, for I do not trust the Unizombie. So I shall flip up Ghostrick Dollywally. Sadly, Dollywally is not likely to survive, but my opponent doesn't realize that I have Magical Cylinder to stop his attack. This will allow Ghostrick Dollywally to flip herself face down and get me more cards. So now I can summon a level 1 monster. I shall go for Ghostrick Mary. I need her in my deck slightly less. So now it is our turn again. Ghostrick Scare once again on the field. So now what shall we do? We shall flip up Ghostrick Mary and flip up Ghostrick Dolly. So long as I can keep this up, I can keep searching out more monsters. So now we can get a level 2 monster on the board. In this case, we shall be getting a fairy. This recovers my Ghostrick cards when it is flipped face up, such as the Ghostrick Scare, for example. The minute my opponent flip summons, I misclicked. I was supposed to flip that face down. This is okay, I think. I shall activate Ghostrick Scare just in case. So we'll flip all 3 of our monsters. Even though I can only flip one face down, I shall flip this face down. I do believe that still interrupts him. No, it does not. It's okay. Even if it doesn't, I can still do things. Zombie Master will come back, I see. That is the way of things. Sometimes Ghostricks don't get to flip everyone as fast as they'd like. So now he is going to send Spectral Sword to recover another monster, such as Gozuki, which I believe sends zombies from deck to the grave. Very well, sir. That's what you want to try and do? Then do it. Another Mezuki? Very well. I am not yet afraid. I still have many monsters on the board. Now my opponent has many monsters. Sometimes that happens. If I could get another Lightning Storm would be nice, but not necessary. Because even if I don't have Lightning Storm, I will be okay. My opponent will make whatever this is. Vampire Sucker. Kasha. Unfortunate. What does that do? Shuffles many other monsters on the field into the deck. Unfortunate. But I still have Battle Fader. And since I have Battle Fader, I am not dead. It's always good to not die. There we go. Battle Fader says no to this card. He went through a lot of trouble just to summon out Kasha. Granted, it is a very large 3,000 point monster. However, I flip everything face down now, and your defense is 1,000, which is still larger than all of my monsters. I shall get the fairy. The fairy seems like a good idea. Alright, let me think about this. Ceasefire is good. I need other things, however. So we shall now flip up Ghostrick Fairy. Fairy's effect will now get me back my Ghostrick Scare. There we go. That's now back on the board. We shall flip up Battle Fader and summon forth Ghostrick Spectre. We shall now proceed to make Ghostrick Duelahan, the headless knight on a not headless horse. He gains 200 attack for every Ghostrick card I control. And I can attach material to target a face-up monster and halve its attack, but I don't want to do that. So now let us proceed to destroy the Kasha. It is defensive. Its defense is lower than my attack. That means it's destroyed. So now we will attack with Ghostrick Fairy. What does this do? Target a zombie in the grave and summon it with its effects negated. I see. He wanted that zombie goblin back. Unfortunately, I cannot defeat the goblin zombie. Alright. Let's see. Target a Ghostrick card in the grave and add it to my hand. Tempting. Very tempting. I can make things like double A Zeus and get rid of everything, or I could not do that. I suppose Ghostrick Duelahan has served his purpose. I shall make a larger monster. And then I shall flip this monster face down. And then I shall end my turn. We shall see what our opponents can do to this. I mostly play this card just in case. And I think this is a good case of just in case. Alright. I activate Ghostrick Scare to flip up the fairy. If you think I'm just going to use this, then you are very mistaken. I'll go ahead and get back Scare again. Just to scare my opponent. Yes, I shall set your monster now. Because Ghostrick Fairy allows me to do this. So my opponent has nothing now. Your defense is 0. And I have drawn into Parallel Exceed. Very good. So what we're going to go ahead and do is summon out Ghostrick Festival using a Ghostrick. This allows me to go for Parallel Exceed, which will then proceed to summon another copy of itself. And I shall summon out another one, and they become level 4. This allows me to make many things, but I will go for the Angel of Mischief, which is our boss monster. So now I can use this monster's effect to detach a material and gain one of my cards. Normally I would go for Ghostrick Treat, and I think that's exactly what I'm going to do. Yes, this will work. I will also use Angel Mischief's effect to regain a material. That being Trick. That works just fine. I keep forgetting I can't use the cards in the graveyard. That's fine. Let's destroy his cards. So we will attack into the Unizombie. That will be destroyed. And even though this will get him a card, I will destroy it anyway. At this point in the duel, I feel very confident. Yes. That is the word for this. The power of darkness is clearly winning in this duel. I need more darkness. That will be adequate amounts of darkness. There we go. So now his goblin zombie will add him another monster. I suspect it will be another copy of... Never mind. What does this do? What is this card? Normal summon, summon a Shiranui thing. It summons something. Very good. I think I'll be fine. Again, I have the ability to destroy everything, as well as dealing some burn damage, as well as this doesn't do anything unless he just attacks me, but that's fine too. So now my opponent is going to do something. Target a banished Shiranui except itself. Are there any of those? I don't think there are. Cannot be destroyed by card effects. That's fine, I think. Very well. Very well. Destroy all monsters 1500 or less attack points. Unfortunate for my Ghostrick Festival, as well as every other Ghostrick in my deck, as they all have very small attacking points. Very well. My opponent has managed to summon a monster, as well as another monster. Very good. And that shall summon forth this monster. I'm going to activate Ceasefire to deal 2,500 points of burn damage. That way, if I need to use this, I will feel better about using it. I'd rather not use it right now, but if I must, I will. What does this do? Target a monster in my grave, summon it to your field in defense mode. And you contribute a vampire. Let me think. Still fine, I think. Your monster is big, but my monster can be bigger. I activate my effect. I'll detach Duel a Hand and Battle Fader to get rid of your things. And Duel a Hand will get me back a card. I'll get back my trap card that I probably should have kept earlier. But this will work just fine. Now my opponent has very little in the ways of anything. All I need to do is a bit of damage. Sadly, all my Ghostricks are hitting the graveyard, which is not a good thing. But it is what it is. So I'm going to skip ahead to the point of this duel where I win. Or my opponent mounts some sort of comeback and I lose. But what are the odds of that happening? And my opponent has surrendered. An honorable opponent, and he summoned revived King Hades. But it was not enough. He also discarded Pot of Avarice for some reason. You'd think he'd want to recover some of his cards, but apparently not. So the first duel is ours. Do not expect as much with this deck, but we shall continue to duel 2 more times, and we shall see what Ghostricks are able to do. But this deck has shown off many of the things it can do, but we shall duel again in case there's more that we can do. Our second opponent of the evening. Once again, we shall be attempting to go first. Our opening hand is perfectly feasible. Lightning Storm is a good backup. We shall start with a Lure of Darkness, because darkness is better than the light. This is a factual thing you should believe in, children. Alright. We shall banish Battle Fader. We need him less. Let me think. Let me put thoughts. Very well. We shall do as we did before, with the Parallel Exceed, off of our Ghostrick Festival. In this situation, yes, this will work wonderfully. We shall get our monsters and make our Ghostrick Angel of Mischief. I could also make Baguska, but I don't need to do that right now. If I already had my trap, I would consider this, but I don't. So we shall get our Ghost Trick or Treat to attempt to force the opponent into paying life points. We shall set 2 of our cards, and we shall end our turn. And come what have may, Ghostricks gotta win today. That's more than they usually get, and so anything extra is icing on the cake. I should now itch under my face. There we go. My opponent has tributed my monster for a turtle. This is considered in many avenues a dick move. Let's see. We shall activate Ghost Trick or Treat. I'm pretty sure he wants this effect to work. So he will likely pay the 2,000 life points in order to not have his effect negated. This is what we want him to do. We want him to pay that life points, so that when we use our Blazing Mirror Force, he takes all of the damage. My opponent is thinking very hard. He doesn't know what to do. He doesn't know if he should negate or not. He could, or he could not. That is the only question. So now what will you do, Mr. Mekk-Knight man? You and your foolish light. Don't you know that darkness is better than the light? So much better, I can attest to this. I like so much darkness here. So yes, as you can see, my opponent has negated Ghostrick or Treat. And now I can barely see because there's so much darkness, but this is a good thing. I am very proud and happy for this. Not that I feel happiness or anything. That would be foolishness. I am darkness. I don't do that. I don't do that joy thing. That's silly. Anyway, he has summoned this robot knight creature. What does this do? It summons a copy of itself. Okay. So my opponent is going to do stuff. Set World Legacy Spell Trap. No legacy monsters in the grave can't play it. I believe he has one of those. Yes. Alright, I'm going to skip ahead until my opponent's done doing things, or until I play Blazing Mirror Force. Because that's the only interesting thing that's going to happen, I feel. My opponent has entered the battle phase. Fortunately, I have Blazing Mirror Force to destroy his monster and deal 1,000 damage to us both. But it's enough to stop him at the moment. Granted, he has this thing, which I believe does something. I don't know what it does, but it does something. Let me think. Let me see, what does this do? Monster effect that resolves in the same column. What does a column have to do with card games? I don't understand what columns have to do with anything. Alright. What high-level monsters does he have? This is bigger than me, I believe. Yes, I will put this in defense mode. And then I shall set cards. And that is what I can do. Effectively. Because I believe this is the part of the duel where my opponent doesn't allow me to play. This is why the light is bad for you children. Darkness will allow you to play the game as long as you want to. The light will not allow this because the light is a big dick. And not in the good way. I mean in the bad way. So I believe bad things are going to happen. But because I am a dark, evil soul with chains, I will not force you to watch this. So I will skip ahead until the third duel of today. Alright, children. It is time for the third duel of the evening. The powers of the light are dicks. That's all they are, and that's all they will ever be. And so we were not able to out the Mekk-Knights. And now the powers of light have come once again in order to ruin all of our fun. The kind of good fun, clean fun, fun that darkness enjoys. Like burning things and being very, very edgy. That's what we like to do. See, my opponent is all about the power of light. The power of light can kiss my butt. I'm just going to say it now. Light powers, you can kiss my butt. So now, what are you doing? I don't know what these cards do. I can barely see right now, there's so much darkness. Alright. That monster is water, it is not light. The water and the darkness, we're okay with each other. They're kind of neutral. Which some might think is kind of dumb, but that's what it is. I must excise the demons. Okay, there we go. What did he do? He did something. He's summoning more light monsters now. Alright, now the water monster is no longer a good guy. Not that I like good guys at all, but that's what you do. So what is this doing? Summoning more monsters. You see, Ghostricks play fair. We only summon monsters one at a time, unless Parallel Exceed is involved. So clearly, Ghostricks are the only fair deck in this entire card game. Because if they were more fair, there would be more fairness. What does this do? Opponent can activate effects of monsters the same type as Magistus monsters in the spell trap zone. And I can't play spells. Well. See, this is why the powers of light and also fire are dicks. They don't allow you to do things. Let me think about this. I guess I'll set a monster and set a card and another card and pass. See, I am playing Darkness. I would not stop you from playing the card game. This gentleman, he would do that. See, he's trying to destroy my cards. That's something only an asshole would do. Alright. What are you doing now? Summoning another monster? Alright. What does this monster do? Detach. Attributes. Attribute. Where is a dark monster? Okay, you're dark. You're a traitor though, because you're siding with the light monsters. Therefore, I don't like you as much. Ignoring the fact that I have light monsters in here, but that's something entirely different. Entirely different. Don't worry about that. Alright, so now my opponent is going to summon whatever that is. Target a face-up monster. Equip. More attack. I just don't understand what this guy is trying to do. I don't know. All I know how to play is Ghostricks. I don't know anything about whatever this is. Magistus, equipment Magistus from the grave. I mean, he certainly has many cards. The question is, what on earth is he trying to do at this point? Alright, so my opponent has finally decided to do anything. I don't even know if this is going to work. Apparently not. See, this is why the powers of light are evil. They won't let you do anything. So, yes, unfortunate that the powers of light have once again come to ruin my day, because I can't do anything. I can't play my spells. I can barely set monsters, so I will skip ahead one more time. And if I can come back from this evil, I will. If not, I'll see you all in the end screen. My dear children of the night, we have reached the end of our Hallows Eve. Unfortunately, Ghostricks only got the one duel win tonight. It's unfortunate that with all the powers of light being assholes tonight, they kept stopping us from playing the actual game. Which I was under the impression that when you play the game with someone, then you wanted to play a game with someone. Not stop them from playing, but apparently I don't know how this game works. So, I will say, my dear children, that you were welcome in our darkness this evening. I hope that you enjoyed the festivities. I believe you are meant to now hit a button that's shaped like this, and you are also meant to click a red button down there below. I think that's how this works. Anyway, thank you very much. I mean, don't thank you very much. That's something Light would say. Be grateful that videos happened. That's what you should be grateful for. So now your friend, not friend, your dark friend, Spooky Memphis, will be signing out now. And I shall see you guys again next year for more holiday goodness. Boo!